All right, 3, 2, 1.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Now I try to tell some of y'all candy asses during today's program that the Tennessee Titans were gonna get it done. People doubted it. When we were up 21-0 after the first half, they said, MJ, you have to relax. The game is not over. The game is not over. This team still has a propensity, an ability to choke the game away. I said, no, the game's over. The Titans have the #1 seed. And then slowly the Houston Texans candy asses started to creep their way back into the game. And still, I stood here live on Sports Fan Entertainment and I never doubted a damn thing. I know this team that I told you before the damn season was going to go 12-5. I told you before the damn season was going to win the AFC South. I told you before the damn season was going to be a Super Bowl contender. But what I underestimated before the season, and I will admit, even MJ can admit, that he did not have the Titans winning the Super Bowl, and that story is still to be written. But what I said mid-season was that I had the Tennessee Titans against the Los Angeles Rams. And today, that remains a possibility. Stone Cold, you like beer? How about a beer for you, Stone Cold? Crack one open. The Tennessee Titans are the #1 seed for the first time since 2008, and I'm loving it. Yes, sir. Oh, I hate Bud Light. All right, so people, we got it done. We got it done. Look, it wasn't clean. I really wish that this team could make things a little easier on our hearts sometimes. Things got exciting in the second half. The good thing is, at least we got a good live stream out of it, at least we didn't have to sit through the entire second half, bored answering questions. We got some entertainment. I got to do some live commentary and get some more practice doing that, and it was fun. Ultimately today, I got to give props to Ryan Tannehill. He held his composure and ultimately made the great throw to Julio Jones. At first, I wasn't sure because to me it was obvious. And look, Todd Downing is now referred to as Odd Downing, ODD, because this guy's play calling is odd. I just don't understand at times. I mean, do you remember the play Deontay Foreman pitched to him, throws a lateral to Ryan Tannehill for a Julio Jones corner route? What type of play design is that? That's just odd. That's just odd play design. By the way, opposite side of the field, Houston Texans, they run a real flea flicker, okay, beating Chris Jackson there. Beating Jack Jenkins. That's a good flea flicker. That's an obvious play call. Sometimes we make things too complicated, and I really don't understand why. Julio Jones. I'm telling you. Now, some people like to doubt him. It certainly has not been production-wise what you've anticipated, what I anticipated. He showed up today, people, point blank and period. He had 5 catches, 58 yards off 9 targets. Now, we're going to look at these deep passes. I think while Tannehill played well, I'm giving him an A-, okay? Maybe even an A. But I'll say A- ultimately because I don't understand what he was looking at some of these deep balls for Julio Jones. Very odd play call and choice on 3rd and 2. Safety is obviously over the top. Throwing deep for Julio Jones could have been picked off. And then another Julio Jones, remember he was wide open, overthrowing him. Now, it's perhaps Julio Jones got a little hitched on that play, wasn't able to run under the ball there. I didn't see that on the broadcast. They didn't show a replay of that play. So the deep pass to Julio were not working out. I think it was more on Tannehill than Julio from what I saw. But when you tried Julio on, hey, it's time to get a first down, what happened? He got you the first down. When we ran a little slant to Julio Jones first down, boom, he got 9 yards. I mean, seriously. So I don't understand why we need to run more of that. We ran another slant. I want to say it was to A.J. Brown, and then it was a bad throw from Tannehill. That's another. He had some missed throws today. He even had a throw to A.J. Brown in the fourth quarter here when we needed to move the ball with about 4 minutes left. That was a bad pass behind A.J. Brown. Luckily, A.J. Brown went back and grabbed it. Otherwise, that quarterback could have picked it off. I think he wouldn't have because it was so shocking that he even threw it that far behind him. Even the cornerback was shot. A.J. Brown was shot, but his reflexes are crazy. And A.J. Brown, you can feel it, man. This guy's back. He's rolling. He's rocking. And, I mean, look, man, this guy's elite. I mean, he is. When he's on the field, he has his mind right. He's elite, and I'm loving it. How about this Nick Westbrook-Ikhine? And look, my thing against him, I never had a thing against him. My thing is when it comes to Tennessee wide receivers specifically, because people love to get excited about Tennessee Titans wide receivers. Trey McBride, these type of Lavelle Hawkins, people love to hype up these Tennessee Titans wide receivers. Justin Hunter, who actually was a high draft pick. But, like, if you're a high draft pick, fine. Maybe you can be hyped up. But some of these players we don't know undrafted, I'm like, look, you need to wait until they go on the field and do something. Until then, you're going to get excited for nothing. People are telling you Josh Reynolds was a number 2 wide receiver all offseason. I told you no. So, I need to see on the field. This guy's showing up. Now, is he a number 3? Well, for this offseason or this postseason, yes. Offseason, we'll discuss it. But I like this guy. He has good hands. He had the one drop a couple weeks ago. Good hands, reliable, consistent. This guy's improving, performing well. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, 100%. So this guy played well. Anthony Firkser, I see you, dog. 4 catches, 56 yards. This is the Firkser we thought we were going to get all season long. We got him in this game. We've been getting him lately. A viable tight end in this league that you have to look out for over the middle. You balance that with a Julio playing well. You balance that with an A.J. Brown playing well. You balance that with a Nick Westbrook-Ikhine playing well. Look what's going to happen. But here's my problem. We're discussing the passing game heavily. Why? Because we had to rely upon it. Why? Because the game got too close. It got closer than it should have been. And we finally decided, late into the second quarter, then into the third and fourth quarter to use it. As opposed to the first quarter when we should have go ahead and kicked their asses, been up 35-0. We would have nothing to worry about to even have this conversation. But whatever. What happened. The run game today was, wow, now look at the stat sheet. It says 32 carries for 124 yards, 3.9 yards a carry. It stunk. I don't care what it says. Look, Dr. Huda had a nice run at the end of the game. Foreman had a nice run here and there. The run game wasn't working. It wasn't. If you watched the game, you know it wasn't. Stop it. If it was working, this would have been absolute annihilation. We were up 21-0. It wasn't working. And, we're waiting on Derrick Henry. I would have loved to play him today. Look, I don't know what his deal was, whether or not they could have played in, whether or not I would have liked to get that engine rolling. We decided against that. That's fine. Okay, that's a decision that you decided to make, and you're fine to make that decision. But I would have liked to see Derrick Henry out there today. I would have, just to get the engine rocking and rolling. Defensively, disappointed. I'm disappointed today. You let Danny Amendola, the decaying corpse of Danny Amendola, kill you today. He ended up with 7 catches, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. Over the top, Chris Jackson. What were you doing? What was Chris Jackson doing? Allowing Danny Amendola. This guy's dying. I mean, I can't believe he's still alive. In terms of like being an NFL wide receiver, he's had so many injuries. He's just like getting a check at this point. Nico Collins was making plays. Rex Burkhead. What are we doing? At least like Brandon Cooks beat you. Don't let Danny Amendola. Our defense could have performed better than this. Look, Cunningham had a number of good plays. He was responsible for a number of other bad plays, especially in the second half. I think he got a little too emotional, too up on himself, and that hurt us a little bit. So, look, Christian Fulton, he let up a big pass to Nico Collins. Didn't love that. He had a bit of a stinger of an injury, but I think he's fine. I think Elijah Molden's also fine. I think we'll see about Molden. I know Christian Fulton came back. I think that Bud Dupree played well. Jeffrey Simmons had a huge play when we needed it. Oh my God, that put up the Texans to only get a field goal instead of a touchdown on that specific drive. We needed that when we had it. I think our defense just did not take the Texans very seriously, especially when we were up 21-0, and it got very concerning. Not in terms of like long-term prospects. Like, I just think we didn't take this game seriously enough, which is absurd to me when you have the possibility of getting a bye week and the #1 seed in the top thrown in the AFC. But also, this is a divisional game. I mean, the Colts lost to the Jaguars today. The Colts are out. Go ahead and, troll the Colts for the rest of the night, for the rest of the day, for the rest of the year. Y'all lost to the Jaguars for a chance at the playoffs. Y'all stink. Okay, and we've been there. Okay, hey, remember that Marcus Mariota? Remember, I damn near cried. That Marcus Mariota 2016, it wasn't the last week of the season, but it was week 16, 2016, where we might make the playoffs. Mariota broke his leg. Everyone wants to make fun of that. Well, we're going to make fun of Colts fans today, and they deserve it today, 100%. So, hey, you're going to get it today from Tennessee Titans fan as y'all kick yourselves out of the playoffs, losing down in Jacksonville. Pathetic. Pathetic. Jonathan Taylor, who are you? Hey, what's up? Anyway, so look, it wasn't pretty, but the Titans got it done 28-25. Look, I think right now I'm still actually looking at the side of my eye. We're going to see who's going to win this Ravens-Steelers nonsense. I mean, they're going to tie this game. It's probably going to be another tie. It's just ugly football being played right now in Baltimore. We'll see. What I want to happen, and this is going to be controversial, I don't care. I actually wanted the Colts to win because I'm not afraid of the Colts. There were no chance of them actually facing us in the playoffs, honestly. So I wanted them to make it so that the Chargers would make it, because I wanted the Chargers to face the Chiefs, because to be honest with you, I don't want to face the Chiefs. Look, I know the Chiefs haven't been particularly impressive lately. I understand this, but I just don't want to face them. That's the only team I just don't want to face. They're a little hot, and I just don't want to face them. Otherwise, we'll see. I'd like to face the Raiders if they somehow, get in, they beat the Chiefs. Great. I'd like to face the Chiefs if they end up being that 7th seed. Well, we'll see. There's still a lot of things to be determined as of this video, as right now the Ravens and Steelers are still battling out. I don't know who's going to be the number 7 seed. They're going to face the Chiefs, but I want the Chiefs out. Outside of that, we'll see. We'll see who we're going to face division round. Look, the point is next week we get to sit back, we get to relax, we get to watch the game, we get to sit back, watch the game, relax, see what's going to happen, and that's it. And, I mean, just be excited, man. Be happy. We'll cross this division around when we get there. This is a very odd, #1 seed year for us. I mean, I love it. It's not like 2008. 2008, first of all, I thought we had everything under wraps. I was 12. But I thought we had everything under wraps. It was over. The Ravens, I was like, okay, I'm kind of afraid. We had the Chris Johnson injury. They were showing it at the end of the game. I'm like, why are you reminding me of one of the worst nights of my life? But, yeah. I will not be that disappointed if we lost in the divisional like that. That was embarrassing. This year, I don't know what's going to happen. It's just going to be interesting. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen in the AFC right now. So let's just sit back and wait. Let's let things play out today, tonight. We'll discuss matchups. We'll preview the matchup, whenever it's, determined. And that would be it. So with that said, let's move to the chat. And I will take chats. I'll be taking chats on live stream. So I will try to answer things that I haven't already answered, and then we will get out of here. All right, so let us begin with Rodney Legrone. I want to say, or Legrone, it could be. As Sports Fan Entertainment should be worried about a repeat of 2008. Again, I don't think it qualifies as that, because we were so dominant. I know people can forget this. We were so dominant in 2008, homie. Like, it was insane. Like, to me, there was no way we were going to lose. I think the Panthers were another, very dominant team, and they actually got kicked out in Divisional 2, or at least the NFC Championship game. But even I was not afraid of the Panthers. I thought we had that wrapped up, 100%. I had no question. We were dominant as hell that year. It's crazy. So I won't call it that. If we lose divisional, it'll be disappointing. I don't think it counters 2008. I don't even want to say it would be more disappointing. It would be slightly more disappointing than last year, but only slightly to me. I thought we should have beat the Ravens. I was disappointed in that. I don't know what to expect, so I would be disappointed because this is such a great opportunity to win the Super Bowl, but only slightly more than even the Ravens victory. Ravens lost last year, to be honest, but that's just me. I know people would feel different about that. Okay, let's see. We have Howard. I want to say that's how they're pronounced. 1324 that says, at Sports Fan Entertainment, looking at these teams in the playoffs, and I can't see a team that has an elite defense like in years past. You're afraid of any of these defenses. Patriots. It is pretty it's elite. It's actually elite for sure, and we know that. We faced them. They kicked our ass. Okay, so Patriots have an elite defense for sure. Come on. But I mean, outside of that, let's see, in the playoff bracket, opposite side, yeah, no, not really. I mean, the defense have been inconsistent. And I know the Patriots let up points against the Colts and the Bills, but their defense is elite. I'm not gonna dispute the Patriots defense right now. They still know what they're doing over there. And Bill Belichick in the playoffs, he knew he's gonna plan his ass off. But outside of that, no. I mean, these defenses are very inconsistent week to week. The Chiefs defense can look great one week, it can look terrible another, and that's about what you're looking at right now when it comes to the rest of the team. So Patriots, yeah, but I mean, outside of that, no. I'm not afraid to enter the defense in this league. In fact, I mean, you could argue we're like the second or third best defense making the playoffs. All right, so Quebert says, at Sports for Entertainment, if Steelers and Ravens tie and Chargers lose, the Colts are in. If that's true, then yes. And Big Ben just converted. Oh, no, never mind, he didn't. Sure, I'm going to believe you on that because I was not even considering a tie. If someone wants to confirm that, I'll take it. Oh, that's incomplete. I don't know, because like up to this point, I really wasn't considering, you know, when you read these scenarios and you're like, oh, if this team ties or that team ties, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, because ties just don't happen. But we'll see. We'll see about that. And then we will answer one more. This comes from Androl Jenhal, who says, at Sports Fan Entertainment, do you think Julio was close to unlocking some money and that's why they kept looking for him deep instead of check down for a first down? No, because he's still under contract next year for, I want to say, over $10 million. And it's too expensive to cut him. So I don't think it's that. And if it is that, now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist when it comes to stuff like that. I think that's very much so reaching. That would be very ridiculous if that was true, but no. If that's the case, that's really, really stupid because we really could have lost out on our #1 seed just because of that. So I'm going to believe that we're not that stupid. Griffin Harris at Sports Fan Entertainment, how do you think Henry will look? I don't know. I think it'll look great, but I think it'll take a while. I mean, look, we know this. To be honest for a second, you know that Derrick Henry can take a half to warm up. You know this. So coming off of how many games off? 10 games, let's say, maybe 9. It's going to take a while, I believe. It depends what type of run defense we're facing, but I think it's going to take a while to get the engine running. That's why we like to see him in the game today. I would have liked it. That's what I would have liked to see. And then we have Abi Manda, who essentially asks the same thing as Sports Fan Entertainment. Do you think we'll see a dominant Henry when he comes back? Again, look, if you're honest with yourself, if you watch this team, Henry does not just start the game running 80 yards for a touchdown. Is that Derrick? No, he'll do it in the third quarter. Okay? He'll do it in the fourth quarter. It takes him a while. So expect that. Okay? And then teams are going to game plan against that. So manage expectations. I think he's going to come save the day. And I mean, my God, if he does, give this guy the key to the city. If he runs us to the Super Bowl, give this guy the king of the key to the city. He is King Henry. He is everything and more. So with that said, that's going to do it for me. I have been live streaming for about 3.5 hours now, so I will give my voice a break before it dies. Tomorrow, I do need to talk a little bit, so I will save it for that. But thank you all for joining me. If you've been joining me live or if you're joining me now, thank you for watching Sports Fan Entertainment. Tennessee Titans are the #1 seed in the AFC. The best the AFC saw in 2021-22 NFL regular season. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.